We are live. We're live, Harjit. Yep.
Hey, Richard. Richard's like, why do I care about you guys? I go,
We're live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook right now.
Live on Facebook.
Why are you guys here? Are you here for the hackathon or the donuts?
The food. We are here. I saw designer donuts on Rod's Facebook feed, and I'm here.
Yes, yep, definitely.
It's like that Monty Python movie. Why did everybody get quiet so that's it's just weird. Are we on? Can you hear me? Are we on? We good? All right. Welcome everybody. I've got some cool stuff to show you tonight. Really cool stuff. All my team's here. Who do we have? We have Voldemort's here. Well, I tell you what. So I had two teams come and deliver demos to me today. All right, two teams. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So I was completely impressed. I had two teams that need to come forward tonight and give us demos. I'll call you up one at a time, but I want to tell you how impressed I am. Not just that you took this on yourselves and did this, but just how you got together, planned this, and got together as a team. How we took IT pros and developers and put them together without a cat fight, and you guys produced something pretty cool. Yeah, right? Yeah. So here we go. I want to get this started so you guys go back to drinking and eating those fancy donuts. First off, I want to call up Team Voldemort. Come on up. Who's your spokesman?
Well, I'll be the spokesman.
Okay. Spokesman. Is this one as well? Okay.
I'm going to show all you muggles.
So come on up.
Muggles. Oh, very nice.
Trash talk.
Yeah, you guys are going to ask, what is this evil wizardry?
Now, when you do this, I want the microphone on here and everything, so we get everything. All right. So explain what you did.
All right, so what we did is we came up with a scenario. So our IT pros here and here, so they work together. They work in a group of hospitals throughout Indiana and part of Illinois. And they spend a lot of time traveling from hospital to hospital, going to meetings and things like that. So they're not always in the office, or they don't always have access to their laptops. And when they're going in these hospitals, they're often sort of, collared into giving these sort of ad hoc support sessions. So Roger is in the hospital, and somebody stops him, and they say they cannot connect to their medical record system, and nobody on the floor can. There seems to be a network problem. So Roger wants to, what they did was, in order to be able to see the logs and not have a log file, they pushed their log files up to Amazon S3, and then they basically wrote a service that takes that data and then feeds it into, so that Alexa can get to it, and then they can ask questions of Alexa to get the data. So what Roger does is he asks Alexa about the network system, and what the state of the network is, and what the problem is, so that he can call Blake in the office and tell him exactly what the problem is and what he needs to do to fix the problem.
So essentially, like I talked to Eric over here because he's complaining that he can't get to his reports. So in any event, like you said, everybody on the floor has got the same problem. So Alexa, ask log check how many network errors there are.
Here is what I have found in the log. There are 362 network errors in the log.
Okay, so we definitely have a problem with our clients up on that floor. So the next thing we need to check out is Alexa, ask log check, are there any domain controller errors?
Here is what I have found in the log. There are 76 domain controller errors.
Okay.
So basically what we're trying to do is we're just trying to drill into the problem. And so, we're going to go from, sort of a high level, just how many network errors there are, and then we're going to drill down into what we think the problem is, and we think there's a domain controller error problem, if you haven't figured that out already.
So now we know it's a domain controller problem. We kind of know where we need to route the issue. Let's see if we can figure out even deeper into the problem. So Alexa, ask log check, what is the most common domain controller error? Alexa, what is the most common domain controller error?
No, ask.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I forgot keywords there. So she's still smarter than Siri. So Alexa, ask log check. Alexa, stay with me. Ask log check what the most common domain controller error.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Sorry, guys. This worked much better before. So, Alexa, ask log check, what is the most common domain controller error?
Here is what I have found in the log. The most common error is the processing of group policy failed because of lack of network connectivity to a domain controller.
So basically at this point, now we know what the error is. So Roger can call Blake and say, here's the problem. There's a group policy error that's preventing people from connecting to the medical record system.
But I'm too lazy to do that. Alexa, call Blake. There it is.
It's on his, he's getting the call now.
So I'm calling my network guy. Hey, fix the network. So there you have it.
Actually, looks like we have 3 demos tonight. Alexa, hang up.
You got her muted.
Oh, Alexa, hang up. Alexa, please hang up. It works better if you're nice. We have 3 enterprise winners. Didn't know to come and demo beforehand, so you guys gonna come up and explain what you got and show us what you have?
All right, so what we did is we created a feed from our server to get all the error events, log events, and have Alexa say that. So I think what we'll do is kind of go down the line and talk about what each group member did, and then show you the end result.
I set up a Windows 2012 R2 virtual machine and looked at, say, what are 10 or 15 key security events that we should be monitoring, such as failed account lockout events, the event log getting cleared, change in audit policy, change or deletion of the firewall rules. So those are key event IDs that I want to know about that could have security implications, and have those looked at, say, on an hourly basis, and Alexa notify us of security events that are important to be monitoring that I should know about.
So then I created a console app that can be run as a service on his Windows server. It checks periodically if there are new events. He downloads the feed that he reads compares it against that, increments it if the same event is happening over and over again. If it is not existing, it creates a new one so that the next morning you can get updated with new error details. Uses system diagnostics to read the event log file. It uses Newtonsoft JSON to like serialize and deserialize the data, and it uses AWS SDK to actually put it out there.
What I did is create a repository for the data and then have Alexa go and get that information. We used Amazon S3, created a policy so that they could access that bucket, and then created a new Alexa skill that would read that feed directly from S3 and send out the results. So here's what we've got. Alexa, what's happening on the server?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, what's happening in the server?
Here's your flash briefing. From the server, Windows audit failed 24 times on one computer. User added to privileged group 6 times on one computer. Authentication failed 18 times on one computer. Account failed to log on 12 times on one computer. A user account was logged 3 times on one computer.
And so, with a lot of alerts coming in, what we did is kind of group those by similar alerts just to keep it brief and simple. I think one thing we do to improve it, right now, it's running on the app, but it's not running on the actual Alexa device. It's still kind of in test mode. And what we do is create a service that would allow people to sign up and register their servers, install the client software in their machines, and then have Alexa kind of give the right alerts for the right servers.
Nice job. Good job.
All right, so we have our last team to demo to come up, and that would be Team Raymond. What's the slogan?
Ramen.
What's the slogan?
Like the noodle.
Like the noodle. It's bad for you, but what?
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's bad for you, but everyone loves us.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah, we're bad for you, but everyone loves us.
We are Team Robin, and we're a bunch of system admins. Thank you. And one lonely dev who we made do all of our work for us. And there's no puns with the cat fight analogy and joke either, right? Cat, our dev. So we basically took the approach of looking at, very similar to what the last folks did, what are the very common things that you run into in the event logs. And then the challenge of all of this really was getting the data aggregated, and how could we do that? Being a system admin, my first thing was, since I'm a CM guy, let me go and collect the data and summarize it in WMI so now we can query it real time. The challenge is that you have to build a couple of apps, and we're a little short on devs, so we got half of it done. But we're going to roll through it. So basically the concept is you can go and ask Alexa, and she will query the real-time data in your database in CM. And that's primarily, again, because of a selfish purpose. Security asks me 5 times a day for different sets of information. So the idea is to then extend the skills to be able to ask the other questions. So, should we run through?
Yeah. Let me come there.
So we have everything set up in here.
So if you were to ask Alexa, like, Alexa, is our environment secure?
You have 3 new security alerts. Yesterday, at 9:36 p.m., a member was added to a security-enabled local group. Today, at 10:43 a.m., the security audit log was cleared. Today, at 11:07 a.m., a service was disabled.
And then we can ask some other very important things because it's patch time right now.
So if you were to ask Alexa, what's our patch compliance?
Your current patch compliance is 97%.
I like it. I like it.
That's awesome. Nice job. Good job, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Isn't that cool? that's like a day's work, or did you sleep, or is that like a day and a half? What is that?
That's about 7 hours.
7 hours. That's awesome. And I've talked to a couple of the teams that produced something, and after they started looking into the voice stuff, the API and everything, they're like, man, this is some really powerful, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you guys might, go further with this stuff. I think it's awesome. So right now, live, the judges and I are going to confer.
Am I allowed to video you conferring?
Live.
Okay. Do, 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 do.
No way.
Do.
This is boring though, but I commented
The whole time.
see what they can tell what they're saying.
The whole thing up. There's 2 other guys don't have any idea what happened.
But she said that you didn't. They said they didn't have anything, right?
Alright, I'm gonna span the room here.
Came up here and showed something.
See? Everybody's at the back of the room.
Rock and roll.
Awesome sauce. That's for IT people.
We have a consensus.
Thank you.
Alright.
We have a consensus, and of course they're going to throw me under the bus to announce it. So,
Hey, we're getting Facebook Live interactions.
this was actually really tough. So, we kind of looked at this from this approach, right? Say I'm management comes in and I have this, our company has this requirement, and I put the scope up and our requirements were absolutely to make this security focused, right? So, based on that, I think though Team Voldemort did such an awesome job, absolutely. Give them a round of applause. I think maybe it wasn't completely security focused. You guys agree with me a little bit? Yeah. It was just so, it was so cool, but we just don't think it was the same scope. And you know what I mean? If I was a manager, I'd come back and say, but where's the security stuff? Well, you know what I mean. So it boils down to Team Ramon or the enterprise winners. And though you guys both had some really cool focus, and that patch thing, that's like amazing because holy crap, everybody needs that, right? But I think in my estimation and what we talked about, most likely enterprise winners took it to the extra step. And they got their voice, all the voice filling in. I'm going to say, enterprise winners are enterprise winners. Come on up, guys, get your trophies. Yeah. Now I want to get some pictures of you guys up here. Got the best hack 2017. Your trophy. Here's your trophy. You don't have to bring these back next year. You keep those and produce more trophies. You guys also, we're going to send you guys $50 Amazon gift certificates. All right? So thank you so much. Thank you. Now, because you, Team Ramon, did such a good job. And I really appreciate the hard work you guys put together. We're going to give you $25 Amazon gift certificates as well. Thank you. Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much. So with that, that's our Hackathon finale. Next year we're going to do something a little different, but down the same vein. And I just really appreciate the hard work we had. And I hope more people get involved next year because it was actually really cool to see you guys work together like that. And just to hear kind of the updates and stuff. It's awesome. So have fun, have your drinks and your donuts, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for having me.
Good.